Sir David is the best candidate I can possibly think of for the Wallace H. Coulter Lifetime Achievement Award in Hematology.
David has made huge contributions throughout the world.
He believes very strongly that research is fundamental to being a good clinician.
He's really set the standard for all of us.
I think there isn't another clinician scientist who's made more of an impact for the lives of thalassemia patients.
David became interested in thalassemia when he was in the Army.
When I went into the Army, I was on a boat for Singapore, but they had no pediatricians. I was put in charge of the children's ward for a year, and it was there that I came across this little child from Nepal who had profound anemia from birth, and nobody had been able to make a diagnosis. We came to the conclusion the child had this disease, thalassemia.
He was the first one to describe thalassemia actually occurring outside the Mediterranean.
I managed to get help from the Department of Biophysics at Hopkins, and it was there that I met my lifelong research companion, John Clegg, and we started probably some of the most important work we did.
The method that he and John Clegg set up to study hemoglobin allowed me to begin my research. I'm very grateful to him for his pioneering work on this particular way of analyzing hemoglobin.
And what David did was to work out the way that you could measure the synthesis of alpha and beta globin chains by taking immature red blood cells and labeling them radioactively and then separating out the alpha and beta globin chains.
It made it possible to diagnose thalassemia in early fetal life.
David was able to characterize all the different types of mutations and problems that cause thalassemia. And based on that technology, the disease in some places has been eradicated. David early on recognized that one could apply all these wonderful new developments in molecular biology to molecular medicine.
He's used the resources of that wonderful Weatherall Institute to train the very best people he could get his hands on.
David is the best scientist, clinician teacher I've ever met. He makes the clinician want to be a scientist and the scientist want to learn about the clinical field.
Teaching around the bedside has always been an enormous pleasure. I've been lucky in having this extraordinary high quality of young people coming through.
I'm a tremendous admirer of Sir David for many reasons, but one of the most fundamental reasons is his commitment to the underdeveloped world. He wants the advantages that are present in the West to be brought to the underdeveloped world as quickly as possible.
He also feels that he has a duty bound, as it were, to help the trainees from the more developing countries and not so privileged areas.
In Sri Lanka, he's had a 20-year relationship to improve the outcome of patients and to help the country maintain care for its citizens.
David deserves the Wallace Coulter Lifetime Achievement Award because he has devoted his whole life to hematology unreservedly.
I don't think it will be humanly possible for anybody to be a better scientist, a better clinician, a better mentor, or a better ambassador for our subject.
That technology that Wallace Coulter developed has been quite extraordinary. I mean, it really transformed hematology. I feel very strongly that the Coulter counter is still, in terms of screening the thalassemias, there's really still nothing better. I'm enormously grateful to the Wallace Coulter Foundation and to Ash for choosing me for this wonderful award. I'm deeply surprised, of course, and I hope they haven't made a mistake, but it's been a wonderful occasion for me.